I'd like to welcome everybody. This is the third webinar we're doing. Folks, we're going to keep this to about an hour, then we're going to have some question and answers if there is. But I'm going to be taking up the subject of what to do for social media. And hopefully, if your doctor owner isn't here, you can relay some of this stuff. We are going to make the recording available. The first thing I'm going to go into with regard to social media is permissions and security. Something a lot of us don't think with right now, but this applies to your Google business profile. This applies to your Facebook business page. This applies to your Instagram. This applies to your YouTube. This really applies to your website. It applies to everything. And I'm going to tell you, this is a serious mistake that gets made over and over and over, where let's say I am the practice owner and I want to make sure that, you gotta love live television, right? Okay. Let's say I'm the business owner and I've got my website, I've got my social media accounts, got my email, I've got my administrative login to these accounts. I should never give that access out to anyone. The only exception would be, say, like Blumberg Digital needs certain level access to your website and such, so that we can run ads and have senior level access to your website. But barring that, nobody gets that administrative login. I want to make sure this is totally known and understood by everyone, because what can happen if I give a staff member my Facebook administrative access, and that staff member, wins a lottery tomorrow and takes off to Peru, never to be seen again. Well, congratulations to them, right? Congratulations to them. But you are pretty much forever locked out of that account. You can try to get your account back. I know of one case where there was a fraudulent takeover an account, and that client is actually here and present right now, where she fought and fought and fought to get her access to her Instagram account back. That's the only case I've ever found that somebody could get their access of their account back. And she had not relegated out and delegated responsibility to another. So I'm telling you all right now, add users to your accounts. Go ahead and add users and give them permissions. As an administrator, you can regulate what permissions to give. Do I want to give that person ability to post? Do I want to give that person ability to run ads and use my credit card? Saving that, do not ever, ever, ever give your password out. So thumbs up if everybody understands what I'm talking about. Good, good. So now we got a lot of our participants here today. It's a great group. I want everybody to activate your videos. Everybody to activate your videos, because I'm going to be engaging. And at this point in time, I need to see if you're getting it. And if you're not getting it, I need to know. And the way we're going to do that, so while you guys are activating your videos, that means you're turning on your videos. That means I can see your picture. I can see your video. I can see your face. While you're doing that, I want to get our hand signals in place. Hand signals go like this. Thumbs up means you're tracking. Let's everybody see thumbs up. Everybody. That also tells me that my microphone's working. Good, good. Thumb sideways is it somewhat applies, kind of applies. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing too badly. Let's see thumb sideways, everybody. Good, good. And thumbs down means no, that doesn't apply to us. No, it doesn't, false, or I'm not doing well, I'm lost. Okay, let's see thumbs downs. Good, excellent. Okay, so again, welcome to everybody here. And we're going to cover social media. I've just talked about security, and you have your senior administrative login, whether it's to your Facebook business page, to your Instagram business page, to your Google business profile, to your website, your email. That is a senior password. It's an administrative password. You can add users, but never, ever, ever give that out to another person. We have literally heard this happen. I gave my administrative account access to my, staff member. That staff member took it and then held that practice ransom on that. Said, yeah, I'll give it back to you if you give me 10 grand. You think, oh, that never happened. That'd never happen. And I hope it never happens. But I can tell you, it has happened. There's no way to get that account back if you don't have that administrative password. So everybody good with that? Thumbs up, good with that, understand that? If you need help with how to add users, how to determine their permission levels, reach out to your account manager at Blumberg Digital. We will absolutely help you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, hard to get your account back if you're not the administrator. Okay, now I want you to think about what questions you have for social media. I want you to think about what is a question you might have, a concern you might have, you know, something that's unresolved, you don't know where to go. Social media is a big way right now to attract new patients. And I covered it in the video marketing we did last week. We've got Dr. Solomon here. We featured your video, Dr. Solomon, from Christmas when you had that shout out. It was an amazing shout out. That was great. That's an example of what to put on social media. But there is a broad misunderstanding about how to use social media in a practice. I'm going to clear that misunderstanding up right now today. But I want to know if anybody has a question. So I'd like you to raise your hand if you have a question about social media. You don't know what, you got a question, you want to know where to go. Anybody want to start? I'm looking. Okay, good. And listen, if I don't see your hand, it's because there's a lot of people here. What I'd like you to do is just go ahead and open up your microphone and say, hey, Dan, me. So anybody got a question? This is what you'd like me to cover with regards to social media. Otherwise, I'm just going to roll. So questions are expiring in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to check the chat too. So I got a lot of windows open here, folks. So just bear with me here. Okay, so gotcha. Liliana Bernardini, totally okay. Camera's not working. All right. And I got it, Josh. Thank you for that. All right. First thing I'm going to cover on social media. Well, I already covered security. The next thing I'm going to cover is what not to post. What not to post. We're going to go into what to post, but let's talk about what not to post. Subjects we're going to stay clear of are any hot topics, okay? Your practice is probably not predicated on race, color, creed. So if somebody can come in to your practice and be serviced, regardless of race, color, creed, sexual orientation, any of these things, if you don't really care, which I would hope you don't, if you don't really care, don't make posts about that. I want you to think about this. You know, this is American. For some of you in Canada, Dr. Kim, we share the same luxuries in the fact that we can have freedom of speech, freedom of opinion. We can be as passionate as we want on any subject or as dispassionate as we want on any subject, right? That is the luxury, the freedom we have, and we enjoy it. So personally, I want you to absolutely splurge on that freedom. Again, you could be as passionate or dispassionate on any of these subjects as you so choose. Awesome. When it comes to a business, however, the second you start making posts about what lives matter, your stance on Second Amendment rights, your stance on abortion. I'm taking up hot topics, and you know, some of you might even, me bringing this up, you might be going, "Oh, did he really just say that?" Yeah, I just said it because you know we're all in business. Just like MGE and Blumberg Digital, we don't care what your choices are in these matters, as long as you're a decent person and not Joe the jerk. You know, we're going to take care of you. And I think you probably share the same sentiments when it comes to patients. As long as they're not an antisocial personality, you're going to take care of them. If that's true for you, thumbs up. If that's true for you, thumbs up. Okay, good. So then don't go there on your social media. Now, like I said, personally, you can have as staunch as a stand as you want on those issues or none. Don't care. Just don't care. That's not why you and I are here. And that's not why your patient is in your practice. But the second you start making posts about this politics or that religion or, this strong, heavy view, what you do to your patients is you force them into a position where they have to choose. They're either with you or they're not with you. And, this is dentistry. You're here for what purpose? Think about that question. Why are you here? What is your relationship with that patient? Your relationship with that patient is to make sure they have healthy teeth and gums for the rest of their life, and that you extend their life and you ensure that the rest of their life is happier and healthier as a result of your relationship with them. So as such, don't make it about anything else. Everybody agreed on that? Thumbs up if you agree. Thumb sideways if you don't. Thumbs down if you really don't. Okay, excellent. Good. That's what not to post. I want you to think about that. Think about, okay, good. There might be hot topics or, and issues in your community that a lot of people can get behind that are far less volatile. Okay. One might be Toys for Tots. Everybody can pretty much get behind that one. I mean, who doesn't want, kids in a less fortunate position to get toys for Christmas? We all want that. So go ahead and jump in behind that community involvement. Go ahead and get involved in, like, if you want to take care of a shelter and you want to sponsor something with regards to, getting dogs adopted. How many of you like dogs? Raise your hands if you like dogs. Okay, not everybody does, but most everybody does. And how many of you would like to make sure that dogs, instead of being put down, they get a home? How many of you would get behind that? Okay, good. So, I want you to think about this. I love dogs. I got my dog sitting right here next to me. Sophie is sitting right here, and I might just, bring her into the picture a little bit later. But, I'm a big dog person, and a lot of people are. So what, I would suggest, and what another practice has done, is team up with some dog grooming service. Let's say it's A1 Dog Grooming. Teaming up with A1 Dog Grooming and going down to a local shelter. Let's get a dog, a picture of a dog before, have A1 Dog Grooming do their deal, do it up, put a nice ribbon and a bow and, paint the dog's nails and, just go to town on it. Do a before and after photo. Say on your social media, guys, this is Penelope. She's down here at the local shelter. We're trying to get Penelope a home. For everybody that shares this around, please do so. For the person who shares this to the person who becomes the owner of Penelope, the person who shared that to the new owner is going to get whitening for life, or is going to get a free whitening in our office, or their next visit on us, or free exam, cleaning, and x-rays at our office. For the owner who adopts Penelope, they're going to get whitening for life or whatever. Make it fun. Watch what happens with that post. Just watch what happens with that post. That post will get shared probably 500 times. 500 times. But you got to have the before and after, maybe a video of Penelope about, Penelope licking your face and, jumping around. What does that have to do with dentistry? And I want you to ask yourself that question. What does that have to do with dentistry? Well, absolutely nothing with dentistry. What does it have to do with family dentistry? It has everything to do with family dentistry. Thumbs up if you agree, thumbs sideways, kind of, thumbs down if not. Okay, so I ask you this now. What other relationships could you get involved in that would be engaging, interesting, fun? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. So I just said, getting a dog at a local shelter. What other sort of community events are important in your community? I've seen, we got Tamara here from Dr. Dill's office, and I've seen some of the stuff that they have done to get behind activities in their community. It included cancer awareness. It included, you got all sorts of sports team stuff, and you post it on your Google business profile. You post it on your social media. You see, what they're doing is they're allying with their community who feel strongly in this direction, but very few people wouldn't feel strong about those things. You see, it's not like a them and us. They're getting behind something that just about everybody in their community can get behind, and they're allying with it. Do you see? Now I want you to think a little bit further. Now, everybody pretend you're not in dental, you're not in business, you're a consumer. How many of you are consumers? Raise your hand if you're a consumer. I love this question. There's like always one person who doesn't raise their hand. No, I'm not a consumer. Okay, good. So we all know that we're all consumers. So right now, take off your dental marketing hat and put on your consumer hat. You're just everyday consumer. What do you think of the person who is posting this kind of stuff on social media? Hi. What do you think of that person? What do you think of that person? What do you think? Okay, thumbs. Show me your thumbs. What do you think? Okay. Everybody freaks out when I do that. Listen, how many of you feel that's a bit cringeworthy when you see that stuff, when you see that person doing these selfies and it's all about them? What do you think? How many of you cringe a bit on that? Yeah, me too. I do too. It's cringeworthy. Why is it cringeworthy? Well, it's cringeworthy because, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's a bit, I don't know. You're just too focused on yourself. You know, and I always give this example. The person says, hi guys, just got my new car. What do you guys think? The person standing in front of their blue BMW. Did I get the right color? Okay, we all know what that person's saying. Check out my new BMW. Like, okay, get over yourself. That's what's going through our head. Get over yourself. Why does this rub us so wrong? This rubs us so wrong because look at what social media is. Social media is social media. It's not me media. It's social media. But the second somebody on social media is me, look at 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 me, that's when social media goes wrong, and that's why it rubs you wrong. Social media is social. It's social. So how do you apply that in a dental office? How do you apply social media? Well, I'm going to throw something out there that might be something that's a little bit different thing, because I see what you guys post. And the majority have really come a long way. And I mean, we've got some people on here really doing it well. But the majority of you are still doing these posts that are very typical to what I see on social media. And I'm going to give you an example right now. You guys tell me if you guys could see my screen. I got to get there. Okay. Where is my screen? There we go. Okay, this is what I typically see when I'm looking at your social media. This is what I typically see when I see your social media. I see myth: diet soft drinks don't damage teeth. You may be shocked to learn that drinking your favorite carbonated beverage, even the diet variety, can cause, okay, good. Shocked? That's like a strong word. Shocked? As a consumer, I look at that and I'm sitting here going, boring. Or I see this: dental do's and don'ts. If you've hired a social media company, somebody to do your social media for you, you've outsourced your social media, and they're doing these banal, very boring, kind of like blah posts, well, that's because they really have no choice. They're not in your office. They're not meeting your patients. They're not talking with your patients. They're not talking with the staff. So you've given them no choice. They say, you know, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy Halloween. Make it a smiley Halloween. You know, okay, wake me up when you're done. This is the problem with most dental social media posts, is that it's just very boring and plain. So what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself this question. How many of you are on social media? Like you go to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I don't care if it's once or, you know, every now and again. Okay, good. So be the consumer. Remember, my approach in training you on marketing is think like the consumer. Do not think like a dental professional. This will get you in trouble. You're going to try and do what everybody else is doing. And that might be fine if you're following people such as, Salvatore Dental, Dr. Mark Dill's office, and Tamara and what she does, okay, good. But even then you're following somebody else. I want you to think like a consumer in your area. Ask yourself this question. When I go to social media, what do I want to see? Think about that. When you go to social media, why do you go there? Most people go there because they want a break. They want to smile. They're trying to get out of the four walls of their life a little bit and just see a little bit something different. Okay. How many of you does that apply to? When you go to social media, you just want to have a smile. You want to laugh. You want to chuckle. Okay, good. So ask yourself this question. What's interesting? Is dental do's and don'ts interesting, or are bulldog puppies rolling around on the floor making snorty noises kind of funny? Which would you rather see? Well, I personally would rather see bulldog puppies rolling around on the floor. What does that have to do with dental? Not a whole bunch, but it has a lot to do with family dentistry and getting people interested in your page. Now, what has Salvatore Dental done? I'm going to go through it a little bit because Dr. Rich Salvatore has given me authorization to feature them. They are in a predominantly blue area, which means they're supportive of the police and military. If you're in an area that is not supportive of the police and military, I probably wouldn't do this. But, you got to gauge what's acceptable in your area. And well, in their area up in Malta, New York, Ballston Spa, New York, right outside Albany, New York, they're very supportive of the police and military in that area. So there they are featuring a police officer who needed emergency help, dental help, and they serviced him. Look at the engagement they got there. Look close. 64 engagements, okay? 3 comments and 6 shares. 6 shares. That's good engagement. Another one here. Kathleen's birthday. Kathleen is our office manager. Happy birthday to Kathleen. We had a great celebration today at lunch. We are open and having a great time with each other and our patients. 51 engagements, 10 comments, 3 shares, just because it's Kathleen's birthday. Toys for Tots. That's a very, very easy thing to get behind. And I'm not saying you should go out and do Toys for Tots. Listen, if that's your purpose and if you like that, get behind it. If you like backing up the local baseball team, little league baseball team, or if your kids are involved in a dance class and you want to support something that the dance community does, great. Choose that. Find something that the community can get behind it, and then document you getting behind it. 52 engagements, 1 comment, 5 shares. Hey, team celebrates Alyssa's marriage this weekend with Chipotle. Congrats, Alyssa, and thank you for being such a rock star hygienist. Talk about your staff. Talk about how awesome they are, because you know as well as I do, they are awesome. Your whole team is awesome. Talk about your awesome team. 56 engagements, 1 comment, 2 shares. Dr. Rich's birthday, 123 engagements, 36 comments, 1 share. They had one of their patients was featured on TV. They posted about that patient and how awesome that is and the thing that they're involved in. Great. One of their patients is from the Ukraine, and she's an artist. They not only featured her and her art, but they bought a piece of art, hung it in their office. And let me ask you something here. Let me ask you something. Be this patient. You're an artist. Not only did your dentist feature you and your work, not only did they do that, but they bought a piece of art of yours and hung it in their office. If that was you and you got featured on Facebook or Instagram, ask yourself this question. Being the patient right now, think like the consumer. What would you do with that Facebook post or Instagram post? What would you do with that post? Somebody open up your microphone and tell me.
Reshare post.
Yeah, you'd reshare it. And who would you share it to? When you reshare it, who's seeing it?
All your friends, family, community.
That's right. Your friends and your family. That's right. So think about that. We're sitting in a position where we are trying to get more friends and family of our patients into the office, yet you start talking about your patients and you feature them, something honest about like how you feel about them, their accomplishments, their production. And it doesn't have anything to do with dentistry. It could be, hey, we're just celebrating Kenny James. Kenny just got a full ride scholarship to blah, blah university. Well done, Kenny. We are here for you in anything you ever need. Keep on rocking it. You're amazing. And doing a couple photos with Kenny. What would Kenny do with that post? He would probably repost it. What would Kenny's mom do with that post? Guys, what would Kenny's mom do with that post? Her son just got featured by their dentist about, getting a full ride scholarship. Yeah, she would repost it too. And who would she repost it to? All of her friends and family. Thumbs up if you're tracking this. Thumbs up if you're tracking this. Okay. Social media is powerful because of that. Not just because of all the things you could say about yourself, but all the things you could say about your awesome patients, your awesome team. So go there and do it. This one is incredible. How many of you do cancer screenings? How many of you do cancer screenings on your patients? Yeah. Okay, good. Some of you may or may not be able to read this, so I'm going to read this. This is Dr. Rich's post. There are times when we are in a position to change and save lives. Bob is our success story. We were able to identify his aggressive lesion and get him to the right specialist for treatment. In the last 6 months, we have diagnosed 3 patients with oral cancer. Thank you, Bob, for being part of our Salvatore Dental family and putting your care in our hands. Now, Bob walked in. Now, Bob is the tall gentleman there next to Dr. Richard Salvatore. You can't see he's got quite a scar, but he's standing. He's not in the ground. He walked in with this plaque, and I'm going to read the plaque to you. Expressing my deepest gratitude to Dr. Richard Salvatore Jr. Your words that saved my life. Quote, 99% it's nothing, but we got to be sure. I don't know if this touches you, but it touches me. How many of you are kind of touched by this post? Like it hits home, like the power of what we do. And I say we like I'm doing it. You're the ones doing it. You're saving people's lives. You're extending people's lives. That's what you do. But look at how much this was engaged with. This Facebook post, 249 engagements, 17 comments, 20 shares. 20 people shared this post. And looking at the very bottom, Christine Lansley made a comment after I made a comment. Christine Lansley says, Bob is our school bus driver. We have missed him and are just so grateful he is okay. I mean, it's and a big heart emoji. This is what it's all about. This is why we go to work. And this is why I go to work, because I get to help you get these kind of results. When you get these kind of results, for God's sake, post them, share them. It's a message I think all our patients need to know. And this is just, I don't know, it's just very special to me. All right, next one. Like I said, Salvatore Dental is in a very blue area where they're supportive of the police and military. And as such, they did a Smiles for Veterans program. That's their own little campaign and logo. Smiles for Veterans. And what they do is they support a veteran every month with some free dentistry. And what they did is, they highlight a veteran. Thumbs up if you see the gentleman in the lower left of that post. He's in a red sweatshirt. Thumbs up if you see him. Okay, this guy was an airborne ranger who did over 100 jumps in his career in the military. I mean, just absolutely spectacular. This individual, when they did that post of him, got so many comments and shares. Shout out to him and what he did, and thanking him for his service. But what they do is they take an individual and talk about that individual. And this particular individual, his daughter got him elected for this campaign, you know, asked for him to be supported in this. He came in, needed a lot of dental work, and they did $2,000 worth of free dentistry and told him it was going to be for free. And he basically started to cry right in the chair. You know, he'd been in pain and discomfort for so long, and he didn't have that kind of money. And when they said, hey, you know, this is your daughter told us about you, and this is going to be on us, he broke down. 114 engagements, 16 comments, 20 shares. And boy, just awesome. And look at what Kimberly Fortier said at the very bottom comment. This is a wonderful thing you are doing. That's social media. This patient did a testimonial right in the operatory. Look at that. You know, patient just said, yeah, sure, I'll talk about how awesome your dentistry is. Did it right there. And they posted it. Of course, you have to have your HIPAA release. And for those in Canada, that's the same thing, you know, privacy protection. But it's a HIPAA release for marketing purposes, okay? HIPAA release for marketing purposes. And Dr. Kim and anybody else in Canada, you're gonna do a release for a case study, right? We don't do testimonials, we do case studies. That's Canada for you. Now, this patient did his post, his own post. He said, I'm getting great care. Look at white fluffy clouds, a polished smile, and some old silver gently removed and replaced. Thanks for the great care, Salvatore Dental. So he, you know, he had some fillings removed and replaced, loved the care, and tagged Salvatore Dental. Salvatore Dental reposted it. Boom. They didn't even need a HIPAA release because the patient themselves did the post. So they reposted it. And then Dr. Salvatore will post his videos. He does a lot of videos referring back to last week's webinar about, you know, getting your videos done. Well, he did a video here. The video he did, this specific one, is what are the 5 things you should ask your implant provider before you choose an implant provider? And so he takes his videos and he posts those on Facebook. So that's his content on social media. How many of you are learning some things and getting some ideas for social media? Good. Does anybody have a question for me? And you'd like to ask it here live? Really want your input? What's coming to mind? Either here or in the chat.
Dan, I have a question for you. These are all great ideas, and I think my biggest thing has become like how to approach these patients and how to ask them in the chair in a nonchalant manner to do something like this, and just wondered what your suggestions would be for doing that.
Great point. Okay, good. So this is such a good question because, boy, all this is for nothing. If, you know, all this work is for nothing if the patient doesn't agree to, you know, be featured, sign the HIPAA release or whatever. So the wrong way to go about this is say, hey, listen, my marketing consultant guy told me to get some before and after photos so we can make, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can you just sign this form, please? Okay, that's the wrong way. That would be this. Good. So doubtful that any of us would ever do that. But some patients might be a little bit like, whoa. You know, you want to feature me and like how goofy and horrible I looked before, and now how great my smile looks. You're going to embarrass me to like hundreds of thousands of people. So that might be a concern of a patient. Here's what I want you to do. Obviously, you're at the point that the patient's happy, you know they're happy, and you've asked a couple questions to that effect. Say, you know, listen, hey, Missy, so you seem pretty happy with us, and you keep coming back to us, so we must be doing something right. What's made us different here at ABC Family Dentistry? And Missy tells you, you know, listen, you guys are just super friendly, kind of feel like I'm treated like a family member when I'm here. And boy, you know, I've really had some past bad experiences in dentistry. And the last thing I wanted to do was come in because I knew I needed some work, that pain. It's been 5 years since I've been to the dentist. Walked in here and it was a completely different environment from the beginning to the end. And when I got the work. I mean, I could barely tell that you guys had even started. And then all of a sudden the doctor said, we're done. I was just shocked. Wow, Missy, I'm just so happy to hear that. Missy, listen, I'm going to ask a favor of you because there is a problem out there. 1 out of 3 people in this country don't see a dentist regularly. And I think this figure is about 1 out of 5 don't go to the dentist at all. People with healthy teeth and gums live longer. And the reason is because people with unhealthy teeth and gums are more susceptible to illnesses and disease. That includes diabetes, heart disease, stroke, pancreatic cancer, Alzheimer's. They have found links to people with unhealthy teeth and gums that, I mean, so many systemic conditions, I can't tell you. What I am gonna tell you is that we here at ABC Family Dentistry are trying to combat and overcome the fears that people have in dentistry, and just like yours, you know, they had a past bad experience. They were mistreated at a corporate dental chain. They were treated like a number, right? And the only way to do that is to really reach them with a message, but they don't want to hear from us. You know, I mean, think about it as a consumer. Do you listen to a business about a business? No. You know, on Amazon, you go and you read the reviews. You don't listen to what the Amazon store says about their product or themselves. You go to the reviews. Similarly here, we get our patients to become ambassadors, not really just of our practice, but of good oral health. Missy, I want to do a 45-second testimonial with you. Just you telling your story and talking to the patients sitting on the fence, wondering, should I go to the dentist? Moving them off the fence, helping us move them off the fence to come in, get seen, get the help they need. Missy, would you help us with that? Dr. Bancroft, what do you think Missy would say if we approached it that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And listen, not everybody will, but I would say, you know, at least 5, if not 8 out of 10 will help you. If you position it that way, it's not, hey, can you help us with our marketing? No, it's, hey, we are on a mission. 1 out of 3 people don't go to the dentist routinely. 1 out of 5 don't go to the dentist at all. They're going to have problems. Think about what would happen if you didn't go to the dentist when, you know, but you had the courage to come in here. I want you to share your message. And then you ask those questions. You put it like that. Watch that patient. Chest out, stomach in. I'll help you in this. I'm here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so this is what we truly do want to turn our patients into ambassadors, not just of our practice, but ambassadors of oral health. This is their job. Once they understand what dentistry is available at your practice, well, by all means, man, join the forces here, because we've seen what happens. And man, when it gets to that level, where, you know, they don't have their teeth, they're in real trouble, fighting diabetes, heart disease, etc. Say they do make the decision to go forward with dentistry. Fine, we can help them. We can do full mouth cases and stuff. But what does a full mouth case cost? $35,000, $60,000, $80,000. So great, we can help them, but I think they would appreciate our help in not having to get there and turning our patients into ambassadors about this. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that, Dr. Bancroft. Anybody else have a question on what to do with social media, limitations, etc.? That was a great question. Anybody else looking in the chat? Tamara, please throw in here what you got.
So I've noticed, like, I've ran into some issues, like with creating videos for our office. Like, so for Instagram kind of thing, like if we want to post a video on all of our social media bases, your videos have to be less than 1 minute long. And so I'm having issues with like fitting all of my content. Like, you know, I want to give them the very best, but there's only so much I can fit into one video.
Yeah.
So is there a way around that, or like, how can I change that?
Such a great point. So first, get the full video content. The patient might go on and on and on for 5 minutes. Totally cool. Patient's talking about, you guys are awesome, and that's why I come in and bring you cookies. And tomorrow, that's why I brought you chocolate chip. I know that's your favorite, but Dr. Dill wanted the peanut butter cookies. Okay, is that going to be part of the testimonial? Probably not. Is it awesome? Is it great? Are we going to cut the patient off? Are we going to say, we don't want to talk about the cookies? No, of course, we're going to smile and thank them and give them a big hug afterwards. We are probably going to do some quality editing after that. Okay, so in social media where you got 1 minute shorts, and certainly like with TikTok, boy, I'm telling you right now, you've got to be fast. You might have a minute in Instagram, but you don't have a minute to get somebody's attention. Trust me. If you're not there in the first 3 seconds, first 2 seconds with what's called the hook, everybody say that out loud, even if I can't hear you. Hook, the hook. Everybody say that out loud, the hook. Okay, and it is exactly what I just, with the idea that it keeps them there. Because what do we do when we go to social media? Scroll, 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 scroll. Next time you're in social media, on Instagram Reels or on TikTok, or on Facebook, think about how long you give that content before you scroll to the next one. Survey yourself on this one. Shocking. So you got to get the hook right in the beginning. So we might end up right at the beginning, moving it, say, I can't believe there was no pain at all. And right when the person says, I can't believe, before photo. There was no pain at all, after photo. That's effective editing. And you didn't have to be that fast a year ago. You didn't have to be that fast. You have to be that fast today. So what does that mean? We're going to take a 5-minute testimonial tomorrow, and we're going to take the key tidbits of this thing, and we're going to squeeze the PowerPoints into it. I've got a good example. How many of you would like to see a sample of this done well? So it takes having a video editor, which we've got a video editor, and you can use that resource. A video editor who both understands this and can do this, and can put the hook in the beginning, and make it so it's quick, not tacky, etc. But some of you have video editors that you're using, and I'm seeing good, fantastic content. So some of you might be going, oh, I don't know, that's not my music style. I'm sitting here watching Shanna Lurie here and kind of going, it's probably not my flavor. And I get you, mine either. Here I am, 53-year-old here talking about TikTok and rap music. But remember, on marketing, you either change with the times, because marketing is changing all the time, or you kind of get left behind. If you don't do these things, are you going to fail? No, not at all. I want to show you some stuff. Take a look at Dr. Dill's page here. This is the Facebook page. My goodness, does it get any better than this? I mean, how cute is that? Is Tamara? Everybody give Tamara a hand. Just awesome. The stuff that gets pumped out. Look at this. Employee of the month for June. What does that communicate to the consumer? Think about, what does that communicate to the consumer? Well, that you care about your team, that your team is awesome, that you take care of your team. Awesome. Before and afters. I mean, look at that. Does it get any, and then like call to action in here tomorrow, just flying colors here. Well done. Call to action. Now that's what I call before and after. Call to action. Call today to start your transformation. Beautiful. Okay, good. Thank you, Flawless Aesthetics, for supporting Dr. Mark Dill and Dare to Dance. This awesome event helps kidney patients through the Chattanooga Kidney Foundation. Now think about this. Think about, it's perfect. The Chattanooga Kidney Foundation helps kidney patients through the, I mean, look at what they're doing. It's aligning with great purposes. What does that have to do with dentistry? Nothing. What does it have to do with family dentistry? Absolutely everything. Love it. Love it. Okay. Periodontics and Dental Implants for supporting Dr. Mark Dill and Dare to Dance, another person who contributed to this. Thank you for that. So they're doing a shout out to that business. And what do you think that business is going to do when they see that shout out? Think about this. I just got a shout out from another business about how awesome we are. Yeah, they're going to repost it. You see, it's easier for other people to talk about you than for you to talk about you. And so they should. Putting our twist on TikTok trend, ask about our Sonicare toothbrushes next time you're in the office. Okay, now some of you are like, what TikTok trend? Some of you might be, what's TikTok? Totally understood. Listen, Tamara is, she's the PR and marketing exec underneath the office manager of Mark Dill. This office is quite well established. If you don't find that you have the resources to do this, well, I don't want you to get overwhelmed by it. What I would suggest you do is go over to Salvatore Dental and look at their content. Okay, I'm going to go to the very top here. Okay, nice friendly photo of each of the doctors. That's Dr. Rich, that's Dr. Vera Salvatore, and these are their two associates. Okay, Salvatore Dental had a team lunch to celebrate Nicole going to dental school. We are allowing her to go as long as she comes back and works here as a dentist. How fun is that? Celebrating someone who's like moving on and getting educated. So cool. Okay. Our peer voted employee of the month is our amazing hygienist, Angelina. 4 fun things to know about Angelina. Oh, I want to know. Her favorite ice cream is chocolate. If there was a movie made about her life, she thinks Kristen Wiig would play her. I love that. Her favorite quote, do all the good you can by all the means you can in all the ways you can at all the times you can, to all the people you can. John Wesley. Her favorite part about working at Salvatore Dental is her teammates and how organized we are. We're so proud of you, Angelina. I mean, how awesome is that? Thumbs up if you guys like that. You're welcome to steal it. Thumbs up. Welcome to steal it. Get out there. The 4 things you didn't know about an employee. For me, what does it do to my affinity, my reality, my communication with Angelina, who I've never met that I know of or can remember? I think she's awesome. That's what I think, Here they are, photo with the man himself, Dr. Christensen. That's alignment with a big opinion leader in dentistry. Here's a picture of Brooke. That's their kid, one of their 2 kids. Just showing, hey, we're a family as well as owning a family dental practice. 4th of July. Happy birthday to our awesome scheduling coordinator, Deidre. We're so grateful to you and thank you for all you do. This was kind of fun. Team training.
All right, today was our team training, and now we're going to do some kickball. We have specialized headbands, all made for the team. Woo! All the way down the line. Looking good. All right. Woo! Woo! So Ellie, go, 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 go! Nice. Oh.
One person had 7 votes, so they won Employee of the Month. This person is really, she jumps in whenever possible. She does what she can. She catches on quick. And voted by her peers, our Employee of the Month, sign it, is Angelina.
Good job. Woo!
Okay, so you guys get the idea. What does any of that have to do with, dentistry and teeth and stuff? Well, not a whole bunch, but I would encourage you to go to here because you really get the idea of what a family dental practice does to bond with the community. Just look at the engagements, 47 engagements, 66 engagements, 44 engagements. It just goes on and on. Before and after smiles. I mean, I saw this testimonial that this person did, unbelievable. And just good fun. Thumbs up if you're glad you came today. Thumbs up, glad you came. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple other things. I want you to talk about your patients. I want you to talk about your staff. I want you to have some fun. Get out there and say, hey, doctor got a new hairstyle. What do we think? And show the doctor in, a wig with dreadlocks or something. Like, get out there, have some fun, put a smile on somebody's face. So I want you to do that. And I want you to also team up with other small businesses in your area. Think about this. You are a small business in the shadow of the big corporates, the Aspens, the Clear Corrects, or the Clear Choice and all that stuff. Okay, good. And you're fighting the good fight. You get a ton of patients from these places because people come marching out of there saying, I felt like a number. Great. But now take a look at the other small businesses in your community. How about, Bob and Linda's sandwich shop down the road, obviously in the shadow of Subway and Jimmy John's. Good. So we go down to Bob and Linda's and we do a feature on Bob and Linda. Say, these guys have a family, sandwich shop. Their pastrami is amazing, but every sandwich we had here is just awesome. But more importantly, Bob and Linda always have a smile on their face. Their service is incredible. They deliver. And for that reason, here we are giving Bob and Linda and their whole team whitening kits and a free next visit to our practice because they are our, homegrown business of the month. What do you think Bob and Linda's subs or sandwiches is going to do with that post? They're going to say, hey guys, we were just elected as business of the month by, ABC Family Dentistry. We're so honored. They're going to repost it. And it's not that you're trying to just squeeze every little last new patient out of every possible way. And hey, we didn't get any new patients from featuring Bob and Linda. It's not about that. It's about building community and building affinity, reality, and communication with those people who community is important to them, maybe more important than their insurance, who, helping dogs is important to them, maybe even more important than, saving $50 on each of the 3 crowns that they need, right?
Yeah.
This is what we are doing.
Hey.
Yeah.
No.
Good to see you, Dr. Macklin. All right, good. Any questions on any of the points that I've covered? Anything? Who wants to say something? It almost looked like tomorrow you were ready to. Yeah, I called it, didn't I? Good. Turn on that microphone.
Another question I had for you is, like, I get a ton of content. The one way that I get content is my cell phone. It's the easiest for me. It's convenient. It's quick, especially when I'm doing videos of patients in the chair. What I've found, so I upload a lot of my content onto Google Drive. What is something that you recommend, like where we should be storing these videos and these photos, just so like they're accessible to, Toria, Dr. Dill, or just, just in general for me to go back on?
Yeah, it's a great question. First of all, what I recommend everybody here does is have a cloud service connected to a practice cell phone. I have, I'll show you something. I've got my iPhone 13 and I've got my iPhone 11 and I've got an iPhone 12 somewhere around here. I never turn in my phones. Instead of taking $200 and, getting credit towards my next one, I keep my old one because it is awesome. I don't put a SIM card in it. It's connected via Wi-Fi. And I have, because I have Apple, I use iCloud, and I have a big iCloud service that automatically backs up all my photos and my videos, so that if any of my devices ever grew legs, I'd be able to keep my content even if I wouldn't be able to keep my device. Whether it is Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud, whatever it is, have it to where all your content gets backed up, and I would say nightly from your device. Get that set up. And if you don't know how to set it up, Google it. We can also help you with that kind of stuff. But have your content automatically backed up. Then take your content and sort it into folders and files. You would have your testimonials, your before and afters, your community stuff, in-office culture stuff. And then within those folders have, to be edited, raw content, finished edits, etc. It takes a little bit of organization, but then you share the entire file system with the office manager, your video editor, your marketing team, so that we can take some of that stuff and upload it to your landing pages and help you with your website. Your website developer could have it and help you with getting the content on your website. Rather than sending files around as attachments, that's the death. You'll get files rejected, things will get downgraded in quality and stuff like that. So Tamara, does that help? Good. How many new patients are you up to now, average per month, Tamara?
175.
175.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you this. Dr. Dill's practice does, everything we say. They just do. Now, it's great in that they're in a position where they've created an organization. So they've got an office manager structure, got Dr. Dill's trained. The office manager is trained. Tamara you're on the power program too, right, Tamara? Yeah. And, so you've got this organization, but they do everything we say. I want you to study their content, and I want everybody here to keep coming back and keep learning. Some of you might have come in late today. Totally cool. We're going to make the recording available to you. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me and anyone on the Blumberg digital team. I'm going to tell you this, just keep at it. And if there would be one overriding factor, I would say, for your social media, because whatever the content is that you get, you'll be able to use it for your Google business profile, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your website, whatever it is that you do, have fun doing it. Just have some fun. Life is serious enough. So let's use this as a means by which to, enjoy each other, enjoy our patients, enjoy our local businesses, feature things that our community likes and build that community. It's not going to happen overnight, so don't expect it to, but get this content, because what we're going to have in the upcoming webinars is now how to use this content in our ads, in our Google ads, promoting our Facebook ads, effective strategies to market with. But we need this content. A lot of you wanted to see some real effective, paid marketing strategies. What could we do to get our ads more effective? Well, I'll tell you the first thing to get your ads more effective, lots of reviews, lots of great content like we've talked about today. So I hope this has been helpful. Any other questions that anybody has?
Do you recommend posts versus stories to get more relatable content or engagements, like you said?
I do. Stories was a good idea, and it got some traction originally, but they disappear. That's the only problem with stories, is that the content then expires. So posts, when people come to visit your social media page, such a great question. I'm glad you asked it. When people come to your social media page, that's them snooping. They're snooping you. Potential new patients are snooping you. They've found you online. They like your reviews. They're going to check you out. What is this place like? What do other people say about them on Facebook? It's a virtual walk into your practice. I can virtually walk into your practice. I don't have to pick up the phone. I'm not going to. I'm not going to walk, go down to your practice and walk through the doors. Okay, just checking you guys out. Okay, it looks pretty good. Okay, let's set an appointment. That's not going to happen. I can virtually do this. So if I'm going to your social media, posts that are 2 years old, I might get to. I might be, listen, if I'm about to spend $35,000 on a new set of veneers, I might go back 2 years on your post and just see, what else can I see about you? I might read all of your reviews. I might read every page you have to say about cosmetic dentistry on your website. If I'm about to spend 35 grand, how many people here says $35,000 a lot of money? Yeah, it's a lot of money, right? So I'm going to do a lot of research. How many of you research extensively before you spend money on a large purchase? How many of you are like me? Whether you're buying a car or a new refrigerator. Yeah. So this is how they research. They snoop you. Stories expire. Your posts remain. You could do, a story and a post, but I would always do the post. Great question. Who else has a question? Anybody?
I'm just lighting you up today. This may be a silly question, but how do you stay in times like up to date with what is hip, what is cool? Like I find myself like searching. Well, what I typically do is like I look on TikTok and I examine what's trending. Like how can I relate that to our office?
Yep.
Is that what you recommend us do? Is that's how we stay up?
And you could, it can be like, I like what you've done with some of the current trends, and you've made it your own thing. That'll get traction on TikTok, sometimes on Instagram, because, a catchy song, ask yourself this question, everybody right now, see if you can complete this, this sentence. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It. Okay, good. So I saw a lot of people wording it. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Good. Raise your hand if you're a little bit lost and confused and have no clue what I'm talking about. That's okay. Good. So you could just Google like current trends, current popular songs and current popular trends on social media. Take the top 5 or 10, see if there's any that are appropriate. Don't get into like any sort of music that has, strong language, that's anti-family, oriented. So keep it clean, which is kind of hard in social media. My God. All right, but anyways, do your best. And but more important than following trends are just going to get somebody's attention. More important than that is make the content pure, make it from your heart. Okay. What is real to you and to your patients, and what's valuable to you, what's touching. Patient reveal videos, awesome, very quick. Somebody lifting a mirror to see their, albeit they're temporaries, but seeing their new smile for the first time. You get that in the first 2 seconds with some emotional music. Oh my gosh, super strong. So great question. Any other questions?
Dan, I put one in the chat. It's maybe a little faster of a question. What are the best forms of social media? Like if we're looking at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad you asked that question. Okay. So here's such a good one I was supposed to cover, but I forgot. So thank you. Here is social media order of importance. First and foremost, Facebook business page. Doctor, also know that your Facebook personal page is public domain and it will be snooped as well. So if you've got any like opinionated stuff that's kind of on the edge of what I talked about earlier, go back and remove that stuff. You are now a public personality. But Facebook business page, then Instagram business page. Those are good because Facebook owns Instagram. Didn't know if you knew that, but they do. And you can do a post to both of those platforms at the same time. So it's one post to 2 different platforms. So Facebook, then Instagram, then your YouTube channel. If you haven't done it already, you should have a YouTube channel now for video marketing. If you haven't done it, do it. Obviously, before all of this, get your Google business profile in shape. So Google business profile, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, if you haven't already, then TikTok. Stay away from Twitter. Stay away from Twitter. Just don't even try. LinkedIn, kind of a waste of time. Snapchat, listen, if you haven't got anything better to do, you can. I wouldn't. So first, Facebook business page. Second, Instagram business page. Third, YouTube channel if you haven't done it. Fourth, TikTok. Great question. Good. Any other questions? Great questions.
Dan, there's one earlier from Joshua Ford. He asked, do you have any recommendations for age-targeted posts? It's in the chat.
For what post?
Age-targeted.
Age-targeted post. Okay, good. Very applicable to probably what we're going to cover in the next webinar, which is doing some boosted posts, Facebook ads, and effective paid ad strategies. When you do a post on Facebook, it's going to go to anybody who's a follower. Now, The post is going to get exposed to more people based off the engagement it gets. So I mentioned, I think a couple webinars ago, we got one of our clients that services men over 45 years old who are recently single per their Facebook profile. And it targets that specific public and community for smile rehabilitation. You can think about it, you know, the guy's back on the market and he's got a smile that looks like it came out of Ed the Talking Horse. He better get that fixed before he, you know, picks up a new girlfriend, right? Logical. Good. How do you target that? Well, that would be a targeted ad. That is not necessarily a post. That said, the before and after of this gentleman who got a new smile, that you would post on your Facebook. So age targeted, well, if you do Invisalign, I would put some people who are professionals, 30-plus-year-old individuals who got Invisalign before and afters, you know, and have them talk about, you know, or talk about them, how they went with Invisalign because they really couldn't afford to be in metal braces. That as a post is age targeted, but, you know, is that going to be exposed to that age bracket specifically? No. The friends and family of the people who engage with that will see that more than anybody else. But I would put everything up there. If you service, you know, people who are over 50 with full smile rehab stuff, put that up there. If you service kids, put that up there. Put everything up there on posts. For paid ads, that's totally different. And we'll be covering that in the next webinar. Great question. Good, guys. I don't know if you have any other questions. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody, anything? Awesome. Are you guys happy you came? Thumbs up if you're happy you came. Good. Hands up if you're happy about these things. Is this helpful? Are you guys enjoying this? Good. Awesome. Good. Definitely attend the next one. We're now going to start taking the content, and that is your homework assignment this week. I didn't talk about frequency of posts. How often should you post? 3 times a day. Can't do that once every day. Can't do that 3 times a week. Can't do that once a week. Can't do that once every other week. Can't do that. Don't bother. Don't bother. Just step away from social media. Okay. So fine. Tamara should be posting 3 times a day. And she's going to probably cross her eyes at me when I say that. Ideally, once a day, if you can't do that, 3 times a week if you can't do that, once a week if you can't do that. Your job this week is find 3 pieces of content to post about, okay? And I don't care what it's about, but we're going to go around and we're going to be inspecting your social media pages. So homework assignment, 3 points. I just want to get you started. That's actually the biggest problem, is just getting started, getting out there and doing it. You know, have some fun, put some rinky-dink stuff up there. It doesn't need to be perfect, you know, watch it, just check it out. Some of the things that you'd never expect to get engagement. So get that done. Get your content ready, because the next one is going to be how to get this content into use. And we are going to use it. So I thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome. Give yourselves a big hand. Awesome, awesome. And we will see you at the next one. Bye, guys.